Okay, here we go. We're going to make 3 drinks at the same time because a lot of times that's what happens. A lot of times you're not just making one drink at exactly the same time. So, because there's lots of customers coming in. So, what we can do is like, we're going to just give you a demo on making 3 drinks at the same time. I'm going to pick a cappuccino, a vanilla latte, and a London fog. You guys remember the ingredients. Think about it. A cappuccino, a vanilla latte, and a London fog. And a London fog, if you can recall, it's kind of like a vanilla latte, but it's made with Earl Grey tea instead. So, first of all, cappuccino, vanilla latte, and a London fog. How many shots of espresso do I need? Think about that. Okay, two shots of espresso. So we're going to get our ingredients together. I'm thinking about these 3 drinks. So I need 2 shots of espresso and 1 tea bag for the London fog. So just like we covered before, this is a bean grinder, and we're always going to turn the bean grinder on for the customer to hear the sound of the fresh ground beans. Whether you've got enough ground ready or not, you just get in the habit of turning that machine on. So you just flip a switch like this, and you hear that. That's the sights and sounds of coffee bars. You're going to take this. Does anyone remember what this is called? It's a filter, little holes in it, and it is portable. So it's a portable filter. Okay, this particular portable filter is going to make 2 shots. So you've got, see the 2 little spots here? It's a double portafilter, 2 shots. We're going to sit it right here, right in the right spot, and we're going to pull forward and back, all the way forward and all the way back to get your shots of espresso. Here we go. We're going to turn the bean grinder on. Okay, and you can see that I've got a little bit of a mountain on one side, so I'm going to kind of try to even that up a little bit. I'm just tapping it so it's nice and smooth. Also, if you have too much coffee when you were pulling, you can put a little bit back, just kind of smooth it over so it's nice and even. Some machines, you just push the portafilter in and it automatically gives you the right amount. So we're going old school just from the very start, like we're showing you from scratch. So, do you remember what these are called? And there's a little word association, tamper. Yes. Tamper is like that little thing to remind you what this is called, is don't tamper with the tamper. And there's some pretty ones and some pretty round ones and straight ones. We're going to just tap that so it's nice and even. And we're going to put this down on a flat surface like this. We're not going to tamp and press down on a counter. We've got a little block here so that we're not putting little divots in beautiful granite countertops or laminate countertops or whatever your surface is. So you're just protecting it, giving it one good press. You can bang it again because there's some little loose edges just hanging on the outside. And I'm going to tamp it down again. Here's your espresso machine. You're going to load your machine from the left-hand side and tighten to the right. So it loads from the left and tightens to the right. And here we go. We're going to get our cups ready. This is for the vanilla latte, and this is for the cappuccino. And so we got 2 shots of espresso. What else do we need? London fog. Right. Tea bag. Okay. And we have an Earl Grey. London fog is like a vanilla latte made with tea, but we use Earl Grey. That's the whole secret of the London fog. It's got bergamot, and you want that bergamot to bloom, is what they say. So we're actually going to get the tea bag ready, like we talked about in theory. We're going to add the hot water right away. So it starts to steep. There we go. And remember our recipes is 1/3 and 2/3. So I've got 1/3 of water in there. And what else do we need? We've got a London Fog, and we've got a vanilla latte and a cappuccino, a flavor. Okay, vanilla. We need vanilla for the London Fog, and we need vanilla for the latte. Okay, so we're going to grab our bottle of vanilla and measure it. Here we are. I'm going to put our London Fog down here. I've got my vanilla, and I'm going to just measure a little shot. Now remember what we talked about. Sometimes they have the pumps, and sometimes they actually use a little shot glass. We're going to measure for a little small 8-ounce cup. We're going to measure 1 little third in there, and we've got vanilla. But we also need the vanilla for the vanilla latte. So why don't we get that ready too? There we go. So we've got that backup shot. So this is steeping with its vanilla. The vanilla is ready for the vanilla latte, and it's just all prepared. And now we're going to need some milk. So we've got a cappuccino. A cappuccino has foam on it. What do we talk about? What makes the best foam? Cold skim milk. We're going to make all 3 drinks with some skim milk, just so it's a nice even flow, and you see how we do each drink. So I'm just going to run to the fridge and grab some cold skim milk, and I'm also going to check the expiry date. Okay, so hang on a second. I've got cold skim milk coming up. Whenever you grab some milk, you're always looking at the expiry date. Okay, so I need enough milk. I'm not going to put milk in 3 different pots. I'm using 1 milk for all 3 drinks. And the milk is going to get bigger. So I wouldn't fill a small pot all the way to the top because I'm doing 3 drinks, because it's going to get bigger and expand, and I don't want it to overflow. So I'm going to put the milk in a bigger pot. Okay, there we go. And I think I'm ready to go. I'm going to start steaming. Now, using the steaming wand, sometimes everything silver is very hot. So I'm going to lift this up here. I don't need to do my shots right away because they only take how many seconds? 25, 28 seconds. They don't take very long. So I'm going to let them sit cued, and I'm going to start steaming my milk so I'm ready. I'm going to just put the wand in the top, the surface of the milk. I'm not going to go all the way down and touch the metal, but I'm not going to be way up on top so that the bubbles are splashing and they're really big. I want to be just below the surface, and I want it makes a sound kind of like you're whispering, like psst, 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 psst. And that's the sound. And you'll move especially when you're new, you'll move your pot up and down and listening for that sound. And as the milk starts to expand, and as the foam starts to be created, you don't want to be having your wand just foaming the foam. You start to lower your wand into the milk a little bit deeper so that your wand still stays on the surface of that milk. Okay, so here we go. We're going to try steaming. The sound that when the milk is ready sounds like, when it hits temperature, sounds like an airplane taking off. Sometimes you can put the actual thermometer, the temperature gauge, you can clip it right on here, pull it off at 60 Celsius, and it'll continue to climb and get warmer. So you can either some baristas use sound and some use the temperature gauge, but 60 is the magic number, okay? I'm not gonna blast my steam full blast and make my milk as hot as I can, as fast as I can. I want some time. I want some time to make the milk make foam. So I'm only gonna bring my steaming lever up halfway. And then I'm going to move my pot up and down, and I'm going to create some foam for that beautiful cappuccino that I'm going to make. Okay, we're in the milk, and here we go. Just moving up and down. I'm not sure on video if you'll hear the airplane, but definitely when you do this live, it sounds like Air Canada taking off. Now it's starting to rise a bit. I filled the milk up in this pot about 3/4 full to give myself some room for the milk to expand, get bigger, and create and generate some foam. I'm starting to hear the planes going down the runway. As you get really good at it, you'll know sort of exactly where to stick the end of that wand so you can make some beautiful foam. But when you're new, you'll definitely hit that sweet spot. It helps you when you're moving it up and down. I don't know if you hear that. Airplane just taking off. There we go. Immediately after you steam milk, wipe your wand off with a wet cloth, please, not a dry cloth. You'll stick to it or burn your hand when you're moving it up and down. Definitely a nice wet cloth. Put some elbow grease in there. Put some muscle in there. Get that wand nice and clean. Push it away. Purge it. Just give it a little bit of milk still is left in the line. It's really important to purge before you steam milk and then after you steam milk, especially with allergies and cross-contamination. You don't want like someone like myself who can't have almonds or almond milk be just coming up after someone's made an almond milk cappuccino and they haven't purged the wand, and then I get a little bit of almond milk and I get a stomach ache and I don't know why for the rest of the day. So you're always wanting to clean that wand between drinks, definitely. Okay, now we're going to pour. First of all, we're going to hit our 2 shots for our cappuccino and our latte, because they're all ready and they don't take very much. What's the really important thing that I want to see on those shots that's sitting on top? I want to see that beautiful gold crema, and I do. It's really, really nice. I don't know if you can, yeah, there you go. That beautiful gold crema is sitting there on top. So I'm going to put my vanilla latte in front of my vanilla. And my cappuccino is here. I'm going to put right over here and I'm going to pour these out. I'm going to bring you over just a little closer to see me pour. Okay. Just a little bit so. Okay, so I've got my cappuccino here, which I'm going to pour first. I'm pretty happy with my foam. It's pussycat foam. It can make a pussycat with it. Okay, so I'm going to hold back my foam and I'm going to measure. Do you guys remember what's in a cappuccino? 1/3 espresso, 1/3 hot milk, and 1/3 foam. Now, when you're getting real good at pouring, you can just end up pouring and pulling that foam with a spoon to help you, and it lands on top and gives it that nice fluffy puff. I'm going to just drop my foam in there too. I've got my, really happy with this foam. It's really nice and fluffy. And I like to, sometimes I do a little bit of a Dairy Queen for customers who love foam and cappuccinos. As opposed to lattes, where sometimes people don't want any foam at all. They want it all smooth. And usually it's together. You're usually pouring out a latte. You can pull and pour when you're new. So you're pulling a little bit of the creamy top and it ends up with a creamy top. So let's pour that latte. Got that beautiful cappuccino happening there. And now we're gonna pull and pour. So we end up pulling out a little bit of that nice creamy foam top to end up on the top of the latte. And like I said, if you're using a thicker milk, you'll see baristas banging out the bubbles and swirling around their milk and then pouring so that it all comes out together. Whereas the cappuccino, it's a little bit more layered and separate. So I've got my latte there, and now I'm going to pour my London Fog. I'm doing a pull and pour for you guys. You new guys just starting, you're still going to present You're going to present your London Fog, your cappuccino, or your vanilla latte. Did I put the vanilla in? Oh my God. Generally, and this is what happens, I can put the vanilla in after. I can put it in ahead of time so I don't forget. The best time to put the vanilla in is right after the espresso, like we talked about. Espresso, vanilla, and then your hot milk on top. And that way the vanilla blends really nice with the espresso. So there's 3 drinks at the same time. I guess I'm gonna have to drink them. I'll be pretty chatty the next video.